So low ticket versus high ticket, because I think that in the online marketing space, there is this, what I think is a misconception that low ticket and high ticket are at odds somehow. And that if you want to make high ticket sales, then focusing on low ticket is somehow counterproductive. It's taking away from your high ticket offer, or it's attracting the wrong buyers. Like, people only buy cheap or they buy expensive. And I think that this is the wrong way to look at it, honestly. So I want to answer specifically this question. Is low ticket worth it? So I got this really great question, and it's, if it takes the same effort to sell low ticket, then why should I? Isn't it just going to cheapen my brand? So I want to address this question because I think it's a really great one. First of all, why should I? Maybe you shouldn't. I'm not here to record this video and to say that you have to have a low ticket offer and you must use it. If you have a business where you have a high ticket offer and you are closing clients on the phone or in your DMs or however you're doing it that you're happy with, you don't need to throw out your business model that's working because somebody comes along with another message, right? So maybe you shouldn't. I don't know. It was an anonymous survey, so I don't know exactly, what business you have. But I think that it's worth noting that if it takes the same effort is a big if, because it depends what your skill set is and what your niche is, what you're selling and who you're selling it to, whether or not it will take the same effort to sell low ticket as high ticket. So for me personally, I have invested years of time and effort and work running ads. So what that means is that I am very good at selling information, which means like somebody being interested enough to click on an ad or to enter their email address to get a lead magnet or to pay $27 to get a pack of templates or whatever it is. Those are information sales. And that's something that I've invested my time and energy into developing. Whereas closing people on the phone is not something I've invested time and energy into, right? I can get on the phone with somebody and tell them what I'm offering, answer their questions, but I've never, implemented scripts, or I can't help you to grow a sales team and manage a sales team. Those aren't the skills that I've invested in. So for me, it doesn't take the same effort. It's a lot easier to sell low ticket. And for me, the more important point, and for a lot of people that I've, helped recently, is that it's a lot easier to sell high ticket after you've already sold someone low ticket. So it's not that, I think there's this misconception that if someone is a buyer who pays $27 or $47, that means now they think that information is worth a couple bucks and they're not going to buy your high ticket offer. And I just haven't seen that to be true in my experience, right? Like if somebody can get something for free from you, they can buy it for $2. And if the problem that you're solving is really a high ticket problem, then that shouldn't affect them buying in the future. And I've had the same individuals pay me $50 or pay me $5,000. I just haven't seen that to play out as true in my experience. So the thing that I want to explain to sort of illustrate this and like how low ticket and high ticket can really work together is called the fulcrum of context. And if you've known me for a while, then you probably know what this is, because you know that I learned it from Kevin Hutto, who I worked for and was a mentor of mine. And he developed the fulcrum of context, which is a little teeter-totter, a seesaw like you would find in a playground. And on this side is the side of no sale. Okay, so if it goes down this way, if there's too much weight on this side, then you don't get a sale. And the things influencing this are the investment and their disbelief. So I say investment because this can be money, it can be time. It's what am I going to have to do? And what am I, how much effort am I going to have to put in? How much money do I have to fork over? How much time is this going to take for me? And their disbelief. So their disbelief in you, thinking that maybe you're kind of full of it or you don't know what you're talking about. their disbelief in, the offer in general. Maybe they've heard this message before and it didn't work. Their disbelief in themselves, that they're going to be able to develop the skills that you're teaching, to devote the time. Their disbelief in general that they're going to get the result that you guys are talking about. And what is influencing on this side, if it goes down this way, then you get a sale. And what's influencing this is your offer and your sales ability. So how much do they actually want your offer? What are you including? And are you a good salesperson? Are you good at expressing yourself, being convincing, showing them, my iPad is getting low, showing them, are you a good salesperson, basically, right? So, but the point of this is that in the middle is this fulcrum of context. And that context means, did this person who you're having a sales conversation with, did they walk up to you off of the street and you don't know who they are and they're trying to sell you on a timeshare? Or are you sitting in a room where they are on a stage and there's thousands of people listening to them saying how great they are and they're trying to sell you a timeshare? Like, they can be selling you the same thing, but you have a much better chance of actually sitting and listening, hearing them out, and considering buying from them, depending on the context that you're having that conversation in. So what can you do to influence that conversation, right? That example, he would always use this example of, like, if Arnold Schwarzenegger was offering a fitness training, right? If your local trainer guy at the gym down the street is offering training and he wants to charge $5,000 for it, then you're going to want to talk to him. You're going to want to go to the gym, see the equipment, make sure it's nice equipment, and see the results. I want to talk to other people who have gotten great results with you. And you're going to want to, if he's going to charge you high ticket price, you're going to expect a lot of access to him. You're going to expect to go like whenever you want, to have his personal phone number, right? And have full access. But if somebody with a really good reputation, like he would use Arnold Schwarzenegger as an example, is offering the same thing, well, they can easily charge a high ticket price without offering any of those things, right? He's going to have a line out the door of people who are not asking questions, don't need to make sure the equipment is fine, definitely not going to be expecting his personal phone number. It's just a lot easier if you have a powerful context to charge high ticket. So what are the different things that we can do to affect that context? One thing you can do is grow an audience on social media, right? You can get that celebrity or influencer status. You can be seen to be standing on a stage, but it happens to be an Instagram profile with 50,000 followers. You can show your results, right? You can show your case studies, your testimonials, and you can do JV partnerships. You can get somebody to say, I know this person, and maybe they have a big list that they can mail your offer to and say, I personally vouch that this person is great and has gotten me results before. And these are all great things to do. You should do them. I'm not saying that they don't work in any way, but what if you don't really want to spend your time or can't spend your time creating a bunch of content on Instagram? And, I personally don't invest a lot of time into that. I don't have a lot of time for it. And it takes time and consistency and patience. So if you need to have cash flow within a couple of months, this is more of a long-term play, right? I don't like to think of things as good or bad, but where do you use this tool? And this is something you want to develop in your business for long-term growth. Showing your results, obviously, we all should do this. But if you're just starting out, maybe you don't really have testimonials. And then the referrals, this one depends on your network, right? Do you have a network of people who could do this for you? If you don't, then you're kind of out of luck there. So the authority side door, there's one thing you can do that you can do even if you have no testimonials or case studies yet, you're just getting started, you don't have any followers, and you don't really have time to get thousands and thousands of followers, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands these days, and if you don't have a network, and that's getting people a result. So A result, I don't mean the big result of your thing. What I'm talking about is any result, like a change. It can be a change in behavior or progress with one small problem in this area that you're teaching, or even just an aha moment that really sticks with them. So you can obviously do this in your social media posts, your emails. That's what I think organic content should be for. And the conversion into a high ticket offer happens after someone has gotten a result from you, even if it's just some sort of new way of seeing things, or they changed one small behavior, like they got a little tip from you about how to, change their morning routine, and it really worked, and now they feel energized, right? That's a small result, but it's powerful because the next challenge that they're facing in this area, they're going to remember you, and they're going to think of you in the context of a person who has already helped them and delivered on a promise. So instead of taking a risk on somebody that they don't know and they've never had a good experience with, they're going to go with the person who they have already had a good experience with. And they are going to, when they're thinking about this next challenge, they're actively facing, or they're just thinking about how they're going to face it soon, they're going to think of you, and they're going to want more access to your help, or they're going to not want to lose access to your help because they've seen how it can be powerful and work. So like I said, there's multiple ways to do that, to get people results. But the advantages of a low ticket offer is that it's the only way that lets you cover your ad spend. So you can run ads that build your list, build your buyers list, and continually build your brand awareness without actually spending money, right? You can either mostly cover, entirely cover, or in certain cases, even make a profit on your ads up front. This is really powerful because you can scale your business without, watching your ad spend every day and seeing it as money going out the door. Because with an appointment funnel, which again, it works. Appointment funnels are a great way to get clients. But a lot of times it's a very high pressure way. So people are really watching their ad spend. How much is it costing for a phone call? How many of these phone calls am I closing? It's kind of a high pressure way to do it. And if you are instead running ads where the ad spend is covered, so it's not even an expense to your business, then it's very stress-free in my experience. You're growing a list of buyers, people who will pay you and not just leads. So in what I have been taught in the internet marketing space by Kevin, who I worked for, and others like him, is that it's not about focusing on the price and how much. The price is it's just the least important thing, because someone is either a buyer or they're not. They either buy things in this space or they don't. And that can be $1, it can be $100, it can be 10,000 or 100,000. They're either a buyer or they're not. So if you're even just charging $1 for something, you are identifying buyers. Because I was taught that it's binary. It's do they pay money or do they not pay money? And then how much money that is just a whole nother question. So because you have had money change hands, you have a lot better chance of holding their attention, right? If I pay $27 for a course, personally, I'm watching it. If I just opted in with my email address, a lot more people get distracted and they don't even open that email. And then to me, the most powerful one, because like I mentioned, sales scripts and high pressure closing is not my style. So you're going to end up having sales conversations, right? Whatever high ticket product you're selling, you will have sales conversations. And that can either be with people who don't know who you are. They booked and they just heard about you from your ad. And there's going to be a lot of convincing and objection handling. There's going to be, why are you different than the last 5 coaches that I've hired? What are your results? Show me testimonials. There's a lot of work to be done, and it's a great skill to build, right? I'm not crapping on it. But if you have low ticket buyers and you're having sales conversation with them, These are people who have already paid you money. They know you deliver on your promises, or they wouldn't be talking to you. And they've already gotten a result. Like, if they are talking to you because obviously they were happy with the $20 or $50 or $100 that they spent. Otherwise, they would have just ignored you or asked for a refund. But if they're talking to you and having a sales conversation when they have already bought something from you, it's just a lot easier of a conversation, in my opinion. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen, my little doodly presentation. And those are my thoughts on how a low ticket offer can function, why it's a useful thing to pay attention to, and how it can actually work in conjunction with your high ticket offers. And we don't need to think of it as like an either or like we're having a fire sale on all of our stuff and devaluing it. So I hope that was helpful, and let me know if I can help. Just throw a comment if you're seeing this on YouTube or something, or shoot me an email, and I'll talk to you later.